I've built a smart tally light that does more than just tell you if your camera is live. It tells you whether other cameras are live, acts as a smart button presser, rotation sensor commands, and so much more. It's released free and open source, so you can get started right away. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I've made this tally light to always inform you exactly what camera is live. So in this case, camera 2 is live. We've got 2 dots. Camera 3, 3 dots. Camera 4, it lights up because that's what camera I've assigned this tally light to be. Camera 5, 5 dots. It also does the preview mode as you'd expect, whilst simultaneously showing you what camera is live. But there's more. You can also assign it to have button actions. So when I single tap, it cuts to camera 1, double tap, camera 2, long press, camera 3. But you can assign it to do whatever you want. You could make it turn lights on, change the audio, buzzer sound, whatever. But in this case, you can use it as an all-in-one tally light. So if you're on your own, you can cut, run around, you name it, we've got it. And if you fall over, we've got you covered there too. As you can see, I can rotate the tally light this way and it cuts to camera 1, rotate it this way, cuts to camera 4. But again, you could have it cut to bars and tones, or cut to an announcement, whatever you want to do. It could be just for fun, or you might think of a really good use case. So let's have a closer look at how it works. Under the hood, it's running ESP Home, which is a free and open source firmware that you can run on these sorts of devices. And I'm going to keep it that way. Everything I'm showing you today you can get started with on your own without having to pay for firmware. You will, of course, need your own tally light. In this case, the M5 Atom Matrix, but you can get them quite cheap online. And I'll show you how to get started with that. But let's take a look at the firmware. So you just navigate to its web UI, and you can see here the actions that I was talking about earlier. And don't feel too overwhelmed by all these. I've just made everything available, but really you only need to focus on a few key things. Essentially, you set your tally number, in this case tally number 4, and your LED brightness from somewhat bright to way too bright. You can also change your preview and program colors if you so desire. But all you do in Companion, as an example, is you tell it what is preview and what is program. So say you have an ATEM or OBS, you cut to camera 1, you set up a trigger that when camera 1 is live, tell this tally light that camera 1 is live, and it calculates whether to show red or green, all the dots. It does all that for you. So you only have to feed it these 2 pieces of information and it handles the rest. But if you're a power user, or you've got a very specific use case, or you want to do something fancy, you can manually turn the preview and program on and off, etc. I show here the firmware version, the host name, IP address, MAC address, reboot, and you can update the firmware. You don't have to put it into pairing mode, you can just drag and drop the file in and it will update to the latest version. To install this tally light firmware, it's very simple. First, go to the GitHub repository in the link below. From here you can read through more information, but to start out we need to download the latest release. So we go to our releases tab and download the latest bin file. Going back to here, we go see step 2, which is web.esphome.io. From here you plug in your device via USB-C. If you don't already have one of these devices, you will need to buy one. They're quite inexpensive and there's links in here as well on where to buy them. Once you've plugged it in, you click connect and connect. You may need to install additional drivers. There's plenty of information online on how to troubleshoot any issues you may face. From here we'll go install and we'll choose our file. I'll drag and drop it in here and go install. It will then connect and install the firmware. As you can see, it has configured successfully, so we'll hit close. We can now look at the logs to see it output. We need to, very importantly, connect it to the Wi-Fi. So under these 3 dots, we'll hit configure Wi-Fi. It'll scan and we can go connect to Wi-Fi. I'll then select the Wi-Fi and insert my password. We can see it's successfully connected to Wi-Fi, so we can now visit our device. From here we can see our tally light, so let's show how it works. So under connections in BitFocus Companion, you just insert the ESP Home tally connection. So I'll paste in the IP address. You may also want to use the host name, as that never changes, but IP addresses tend to be they're a little bit more reliable, but you will need to set a static IP address via your router as a DHCP reservation. So let's type in the host name. From here we'll go to triggers and look at what I've done. I've got an ATEM here and I've set when camera 1 is live to set the source on the tally to program number 1. So you can see here under ESP Home Tally we've got program source set number, program source set number state, push button, and set number state. So you can click through and see what you need, but for most cases it's just telling it what is preview and program. So when camera 2 is live, I've set it to set it to camera 2. When camera 3 is live, set it to 3, 4, 5. When it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4, so I've done here when the condition becomes false. Let's delete that out. When it becomes false, and when it isn't the logic operation of 1, 2, 3, or 4, or you could do this as separate triggers, set it to 0. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then I've done preview 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no preview cameras. And then here, the most exciting part, setting the button press. So I've accidentally loaded a slightly older version, but if I do button release under here, we'll see cut to camera 1. When it does the double tap, cuts to camera 2. When it does the long press, cuts to camera 3. But you can, of course, set it to do whatever you want. And here's the rotation. So when the change binary state, so this one is as a condition. So if we go under conditions, as an example, we've got condition becoming true, condition is ESP home. So now we've got binary states, number states, and text states. So when the roll is 0 degrees, we set it to cut to camera 1. When the roll is 180 degrees, we set it to camera 4, and so forth. It's really designed to do absolutely everything you could possibly want it to do, and very forward focused, so it's not reliant on sophisticated APIs, so hopefully it won't break and it should serve us well into the future. So thank you for taking a look at this taillight. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below.